Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I proudly present an in-depth review of the 2020 Mercedes GLB. This is Mercedes' premier 7-passenger small SUV. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start it up. So push once for accessory, twice for ignition, and to start, press the brake and press the button. Power steering, leather-wrapped steering wheel. Horn sounds good. It's got a 9-speed, 9G-tronic automatic transmission, as Mercedes calls it. So down for drive, up or down halfway for neutral. You get this warning when you're in neutral. All the way up for reverse. Guidance lines that are dynamic when you turn the steering wheel. You can also change your view, and this is a touch screen. And then the button on the end to put it in park. It's got the automatic electronic parking brake. You push to apply and you pull to release. And as I've said, it's automatic, so when you open the door and the car is in park, the parking brake applies. It also applies when you shut the vehicle off and the car's in park. And you have to have your seatbelt unfastened for the brake to automatically apply when opening the door. So over here we've got automatic wipers, turn signals, high beams, light controls, so you can leave the lights permanently on if you so choose. They are also automatic. It does have front and rear fog lights, panel dimmer. Controls in the center, got AC, temperature up and down, climate menu. So this is where you can adjust everything in terms of the climate control. Fan speed, automatic, max defrost, rear defrost. So you get an amber warning light when that's active. Same with the front defrost, maximum. Recycle, AC on and off, turn off dual zone, otherwise known as sync mode. And that's automatically canceled when you adjust your passenger side climate control, temperature. Glove box space. All 4 windows are fully automatic, as you would expect. Mirror controls, left, right, and then push this middle button up ahead, and that folds your mirrors in. It also automatically does that when you lock the car from the outside. When you look in the rear view mirror, it looks like this vehicle is longer or bigger than it really is. Garage door home link, emergency SOS, roadside assistance, reading lamps, door interior illumination disable, interior illumination override, rear interior illumination override, passenger side reading lamp, airbag information. You also do get a vanity mirror, an LED light, turns on as soon as you open it. Alright, headlights are already on. Let's turn on the fog lights, front and rear, as well as the hazards. Don't know if you heard that, but that was the automatic parking brake activating itself. Let's look for the hood latch. It's this red latch here. Tailgate controls, I'll get to that in a second. And that button basically prevents anyone else from adjusting the windows, so only the driver can do it. LED side turn signal mirrors. LED headlights are standard. And I love that turn signal pattern. So, hood latch. The engine is a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4 with a maximum horsepower output of 221. Here's the coolant reservoir. And this wire here is for the sensor, so to let the driver know the coolant level is low. And that's to jump the car in case the battery runs flat or low. Some helpful emission control information. Comes standard with Continental Pro Contact CX SSR tires. There's the rear fog light off to the left. Power tailgate, as I've mentioned. So this particular car does not have the additional 2 seats in the rear, but you can opt for it, and that's why I said this is Mercedes' premier 7-passenger SUV, and it's a small SUV, so you wonder how they do it. It's got this here, so what this does is you can hide away your groceries or other valuables. It's also removable. Got a light right here and 2 options to close, so you can just do a standard close, or you can also opt to lock it after closing. LED license plate lighting. Down here, here's the flap for the rear view camera. Premium only. And off to the right, that's what you would see if you had a diesel. So it would be a blue cap right around here. Let's go ahead and turn those back off. So I'm going to start with the driver's display. And that's controlled through the left side gesture control on the steering wheel. So first I'm going to talk about the designs and displays. So it's currently in classic mode. If I change it to sport, then this is what it looks like. If I change it again into progressive mode, and that's what it looks like. You get a numerical readout for your tachometer. You always get a numerical readout for your speed, whether it be off to the left or up above your odometer, depending on which mode you're in. I personally think this mode is the coolest for this model, whereas if you were driving like an S-Class or a Maybach, you would want to leave it in classic. And if you're driving an AMG, I would definitely want to have it in sport. So now, the assistance menu, what this does here is it warns you that you need to take a break after a certain amount of driving. Full screen display. Phone, navigation, trip. So if you didn't want to have your navigation display on the right, you could have it right in front of you as you're driving. Radio, media. So your numerical speed readout, odometer, fuel consumption, eco gauge, distance from start, distance since reset, and also full screen display. There are many full screen displays available. It all depends on what menu you're in. Over on the right, So if you scroll to the right, you can do that. So I just scrolled to the left. Let's start with the speedometer. So you can go between time and date, distance from start, distance from reset, route schedule, along with distance to empty, Bluetooth status, as well as G-force, and back to your speed. Over on the right, tachometer, fuel consumption, eco display, that's your navigation. It's blind spot monitoring, four-wheel drive information, drive modes. So it's got 4 different drive modes. Actually, it's got 5. So off-road, eco, comfort, sport, and individual. You can also select that with the touch screen. You can configure individual. So I've currently set this as manual drive, sport steering, and sport ESP. But if you want to adjust that, say you want to make your drive sport, which is automatic, but the sportiest response from the transmission and engine, comfort, eco, manual. I'm going to go ahead and go back. Over on the right, you can see the configurations of both, or of all the engine, steering wheel, and traction control. Auto start stop button right below the start button. Vehicle settings. So here's your quick access. You can turn your traction control on and off here. And there's the warning for that above the headlight indicator. DSR. Assistance, so active brake assist. You can change the sensitivity or you can turn it off. Same with attention assist and blind spot assist. Vehicle settings. So this is where you can configure your individual mode. Automatic seat adjustment. You can also turn on and off easy entry and exit. Rear view camera settings. So I just opened the flap for the rear view camera. Acoustic lock, automatic door lock, automatic mirror folding when locking, as well as standby mode, which can only be adjusted as or when the ignition is on but the engine is off. Exterior light delay, switch off. You can adjust that, make it longer, shorter, or turn it off. Interior lighting off delay, so you can't adjust the duration on this model, but you can turn it on and off. You can turn daytime running lights on and off. There's an animation for that as you're turning it on and off. Locator lighting, so same thing with that. System settings, so you can also change your designs and display from here. So this applies to both this screen and the driver's screen. So now it's in Sport, Classic, and then I'm going to put it back into Progressive. Display brightness, so you can turn that up and down depending on your needs. turn the display off, and just touch anything that controls this screen to turn it back on. You can also control this screen with the right side controls on the steering wheel if you didn't want to use the touchpad down here. I personally prefer the touchpad when parked, but this is handy while driving. I've used it. So, touchpad sensitivity, touch control sensitivity, haptic feedback, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth settings, so you can turn Bluetooth Wi-Fi on and off, as well as hotspot settings, as well as current internet status. Date and time. You can opt to adjust this manually, but if it's in automatic mode, the time will adjust based on the time zone you're in and whether it is daylight savings time or not. Language settings. Units, so change between miles per hour, kilometers per hour, and also enable the additional speedometer. What that does is shows how fast you're going in kilometers per hour. So I just turned it back off and it disappeared. It was right underneath the clock. License activation or activity, software updates, system backup, password protection, system information, format system memory, comfort settings, so seat comfort, backrest and seat surface, or you can have it be backrest only or seat surface only. You can also adjust the duration, and this button here starts it. Same with the passenger seat. Heated seats are standard. There's 3-stage, so that's the high setting. Turns off or turns to the next level after 5 minutes. Medium, so, or actually, yeah, 5 minutes. Then it goes to that one. Then after 10 minutes it goes down to low, and after 20 minutes it turns off. You can opt for heated steering wheel, but heated seats are standard for both the front seats across the board. It's also got 3-person memory, so press M and then press the number to program it, and then to recall the seat to your memory position, you have to push and hold until everything stops. You can't just push it and let go, unlike some competitive models that are not Mercedes. Lock and unlock. Now you do have a status light for that, similar to Volkswagen models. Power tailgate control. So you can open the power tailgate by just pulling back for a couple seconds. You also do get a warning for that. Then to close it, just push and hold. The ignition must be on to close it from inside. Cruise control, so that turns the system on. Resume, cancel, set your speed. So to the first detent is by 1 mile per hour, and then all the way down or up to adjust by increments of 5 miles per hour. So say you're going 37 miles per hour, you want to speed up to 40 miles per hour. Well, if you push all the way up, it won't go to 42, it'll just go to 40 because it's an increment of 5 as opposed to increasing by 5 miles per hour every time. Paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel. Volume controls, so if you didn't want to use this, you can push in to mute. You can scroll up and down to adjust the volume as accordingly. So accordingly, voice control, favorites, Bluetooth. You push and hold to turn off the system or the display. Another favorite button, telephone, radio, media, navigation, map, home. And what this button does is it pulls up media settings, so media quick settings, and it lets you go between like previous tracks or your next track. You can opt for wireless charging. There's a power outlet here. Cup holders. Center storage. It's got a hand rest here. It looks a lot like a gear shifter, but it isn't. Sunglasses compartment. All right, let's go ahead and check out the back. It's got a manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel. So sitting in the back, it's pretty spacious, much like that of a GLE or GLS. Automatic window control. You also do have a lock and unlock, but you don't have a status light like you do in the front. More cup holders. And rear climate vents. Also up here you do have your side dependent interior illumination lamp, or reading lamp as you would call it. Alright, I think that just about wraps it up. So let's go ahead and turn it off. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications, do what you do best, and peace out until next time.